Hello everybody and welcome to another video on my channel. It's me, Pokepid, your new favourite idiot. There's no need for introductions here. I know why you're here, you know why you're here, you want to watch some trailer analysis, you want to watch the breakdown. So, without further ado, let's just get straight into the breakdown. Before we start, do click subscribe if you want to. It would really help me out. Like the video if you enjoy it, and yeah, let's go. We start in what I can only assume is your bedroom. You can see on the side there you've got the Drifloon, the Hatena and the Applin, and it's just, you know, nice little shot here. A lot of things look very wooden, you know, you've got the wooden panel floorboards, wooden wardrobe, wooden bin, wooden desk, wooden window frames as well, which is quite a strange thing to see. You can also see the logo of what I believe is the school on the bag there, but we'll go into that in a bit more detail later on. Here we see the first shot of what I can only describe as a Pokemon Center petrol station. Pokemon Centers in Scarlet and Violet seem to have changed from the indoor style to this, and yeah, I'm not sure if I like it or not. It doesn't really have any relevance to me. As long as I can heal my Pokemon, get some potions and Pokeballs, I'm a happy guy. We now get our first view of these logos specific to each games, the Scarlet on the left, the Violet on the right, and they are based, obviously, as you can see there, off of oranges and grapes. Now I have tried to find orange varieties and grape varieties with Scarlet and Violet in their names. The only thing I could find was Scarlet Navel Oranges, which is not an official name for a variety of orange, and I couldn't find any variety of grapes with Violet in the name. Either way, exclusive Pokemon schools in these games, that's pretty cool. This is just a sweeping shot of part of the region which is yet unnamed, quite annoyingly. But I'd like to say that there looks like some sort of lighthouse there in the middle of the shot, quite by the beach there. I hope that's an area we can go to. We've had a lighthouse in Alola, which we couldn't visit or enter, and the same in Sword and Shield, which we couldn't visit or enter. So hopefully we can finally go into one for the first time since, Johto, I think? Heart Gold, Soul Silver? This quick shot of the TV is nothing special, but the transition into the next bit of the trailer is. What I mean by this is that the TV into the next shot gives us a little sort of white noise or technical interference. And I don't know if that's going to be something that we need to pay attention to. One of the legendary Pokemon revealed later on, which I'll go into in more detail later on, may have a relevance to this in some manner. I don't know how, but it may do. A random shot of the TV and then some digital interference seems a little bit too specific and a bit too placed to be just a throwaway thing. I think we need to remember this and keep an eye on this for future trailers. It transitions into the next two professors here. Version exclusive professors as well, may I add. These are Professor Sada, don't know, and Professor Turo. The looks of these are very, very different. On the left, Sada there, she is very much more prehistoric, more, you know, historical, natural, and on the right there you've got Turo. The aesthetics of him are definitely more on the technology side. He looks a bit more modern, I say modern, Pokemon World modern, and the contrast between these two is fantastic. It parallels something, which I'll go into later on in the trailer, but we need to remember this. We also need to make note of the point that it does that weird digital transition yet again here. I don't know if that's anything specific. I really hope this is something that's going to be used. Is it teasing a digital type? I don't know. I think that's unlikely, but I do think it's going to have some sort of relevance in the long run. As for the Professor's names, I don't really know if Sada and Turo are anything specific. There is a plant or flower called the Sada Bahar. I'll put a picture of it on the screen now. But I couldn't find anything for Turo, except obviously Toro, the bullfighting in Spain. But no link to any sort of tree or plant or anything. We then get a close-up of all the starters here. Sprigatito just looks sort of normal, walking around the grass. Quaxley looks almost vain in its appearance there as it flicks its nice hair and little water droplets come out of it. But the main one I want to look at here is Fuecoco. For a start, take a look at the little tuft of hair it's got on the top. It glows. I didn't know that from the concept art that we got in the previous trailer. We also get an orange there. Why specifically an orange? Usually Pokemon steer away from actual fruit from the real world and they change things up into berries. For example, instead of bananas you've got a nanab berry. Instead of a raspberry you've got a raspberry. You know, things like that. But apart from an oran berry for orange and a greppa berry for grapes, I couldn't really think of anything specific to those fruits that could be anything in the Pokemon world. We then get introduced to Nemona, who could be your new rival. It seems she is already your friend and an experienced Pokemon trainer, as it says so on the Pokemon Center's website. It also says that she'll serve as a guide, so she might not be a full-on rival. There may be another one or two, who knows? But either way, she's a person of interest, and I've got a feeling you'll be battling her a few times throughout your journey. The website also says that she is not the best at throwing Pokeballs. She looks like she's grimacing as she throws and sends out her Pokemon here. She looks like she's in pain, and she also has an arm support on that right arm. So maybe she has some sort of injury? We then get introduced to a new Pokemon, Pawmi. Pawmi is obviously a Pikachu clone. It's an electric type and is the rat Pokemon. It says on the Pokemon website that Pawmi has electricity discharging organs on its forepaws. That is brilliant. When it feels uneasy, this cautious Pokemon will begin rubbing its cheeks, preparing itself to discharge an electric shock. I can only assume they mean cheeks on the face, not its butt cheeks. But that'd be funny if it just turned around and started rubbing its butt and then shocked you in the head. Anyway, I digress. It's not massively relevant, but we can then get introduced to the science enthusiast who has been present in every single generation. It also looks like Pokemon are going to follow you again, as we can see here from this clip showing off the multiplayer. I'm personally, not really that bothered about Pokemon following you, but I know it is something that a lot of fans want, and it's something that it looks like a lot of fans are going to get. As I said just then, multiplayer aspect is here for up to 4 players. Now, we had the multiplayer aspect in Let's Go, but the only thing they really did was threw a ball with you when you're in a battle scene. So I don't know how they're going to incorporate multiplayers. Maybe you'll have double battles with a friend. I have no idea. These games do very much look like they're going to be going in a progressive direction and might not be as similar to old games as we thought. So, your guess is as good as mine as to what multiplayer aspect we are going to have. We then see that you can creep up on Pokemon again like you have done in Legends Arceus and Sword and Shield. Pokemon in the overworld are going to be a thing, so it's going to be fun to see. This is when we are introduced to Smoliv. It's a grass normal type, which is fine. It means it will be immune to Ghost, but will be weak to fighting. It's based off of an olive. Spain itself actually ships nearly 7 million tons of olives annually and produces 35 to 40% of olive oil worldwide, which is more than any other country. So I think it was almost a given that we were going to be getting some sort of olive Pokemon here. It looks like it'll be in the same vein of, Budgew, Oddish, Bounsweet, that sort of thing, and I'm fine with it. We then see another new Pokemon here, Lechonk, the Hog Pokemon. I love this little guy. I mean, he's a sort of spherical pig. It's a normal type. I can only assume it's going to be your sort of early encounter rodent. Although they did show us Wooloo in the second trailer for Sword and Shield, and that's not exactly the early encounter normal type. It's an early encounter normal type, but the rodent is obviously Squavit and Greedent. So this could just be another normal type. Like I said, it's the Hog Pokemon, it is normal type, and it uses its sense of smell to find and eat only the most fragrant wild grasses and the richest berries. This could be taking inspiration from the truffle hunting pigs that are in the real world, and I am fine with that. It also has the ability Aroma Veil, so yeah, that's pretty cool. We also get a quick glimpse at this new UI. We've seen this before with all of the Switch generation games really, where we see a battle screen, but it changes by the time the real game comes out. Not too much, so you can expect something similar here, but either way it's nice to look at. We then battle a youngster here who could be youngster Joey in his shorts, who knows. Either way, the image on his shirt there is definitely of a bull. Now, Spain is famous for its bullfighting, so it had to be incorporated in some way. And I actually think that this is definitely going to be some sort of Tauros form or evolution. If I'm right, I think Tauros is the only Gen 1 Pokemon, legendaries included, that doesn't have an evolution, a pre-evolution, a mega evolution, anything. It's just Tauros on its own. What I wanted to see here is that you start a trade animation sequence just where you are. It doesn't look like you are entering a room, doesn't look like you're having to go to a separate place like the GTS or anything like that, or a link trade system. It's just happening where you stand. You trade off, flies into the sky, and then you get Pokemon sent over to you, and wherever you are, that's where the trade happens. And if that is how it's going to be, that's fantastic. What a great addition. Just trade, fully where you are, animation starts on the spot. Brilliant. Another quick thing I wanted to point out is that when you are running through various locations within this unnamed region, as you can see here, your running animation is quite normal in normal weather. However, when you get to something like heavy snow, it looks like your character physically hunches its head down and raises its arm to try and get the snow out its face. And I hope that that comes over to the actual game and it's not just for the trailer. We then get introduced to what I can only assume is gyms. The first one here looks like a grass gym. It's even got its own little logo there at the top. We then get onto the fire type gym, I can only assume, with a nice little sort of logo in the middle again there. And then I think a ground type gym, or rock. Either way, it's something along those lines. We could see the shot of all three here, and I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It looks like we're returning to gyms, and I for one am all for that. We then see the legendaries here. And I just want to make a couple of quick notes. I think the theme of these legendaries are that one is sort of prehistoric and the other is very much modernised. As you can tell from the feet here, the one on the left, Coridon I think it's called, that is definitely more scaly, more prehistoric and almost dinosaur in its appearance. And on the right there, Miraidon is hovering for a start, and it's got almost like jets for its feet. We then get onto the midriff, and you can see both fur and scales there on Coridon. And over there on Miraidon, I hope I'm saying his names correctly, it's so artificial and I mean, its arms are sort of clear, its legs have got lights on, well, legs, if we can call them that. Its chest piece there is, I don't even know what to call it. It looks metallic, it looks modernised, and a complete contrast to Coridon. And then you can see there from the two faces, Coridon's obviously got more of a plume of feathers, and is definitely more scaly and feathery, or furry, whatever you want to call it. And on the right there, Miraidon, digital eyes for a start. It looks man-made, it looks artificial, it looks like it shouldn't be there. So I don't know how these are going to incorporate into the story whatsoever. Is it going to be some sort of time travel element? I don't really know how this is going to incorporate. I don't know how these two Pokemon can coexist at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see where this story goes. I need one more trailer before I can get a bit more of an idea. The last shot though is very, very interesting. You see this sort of shattered glass diamond effect, and it looks like some of the images are being reflected. There's something reflecting in the actual glass itself. Before a Pokeball shoots past and shows us that, you know, the reflection behind us, if that makes sense, our point of view, is just more of the same thing, more of the glass shattery effect. This pattern actually shows up a few times, this sort of mosaic type pattern. You see it there on the walls of the building and around the bottom of the wall on the building there. You can see it within the gym there around the top of the Pokeball. You can also see it on the scales of, well, mainly Coridon, but a little bit on Miraidon as well. But then you can also see it on the Pokemon Center website. Now this is just crazy. I don't know what this pattern's going to mean, I don't know what this glass thing means, but it's obviously relevant, otherwise they wouldn't have put it in the trailer. Now that's it for the actual trailer itself. However, speaking of the website, there is a little bit of extra detail on there that we can go through. For a start, this sentence here, which reads, "You can experience a new style of adventure with a world you're free to explore at your leisure and not in an order dictated by the story." Now this says to me that you can go anywhere in this region from the get-go. You can do the gyms in any order, you can visit the towns in any order, and I don't know how that's going to work for your story prompts, but that's brilliant. I don't know how it's also going to work for level scaling, but we'll find out obviously when the game comes out. Hopefully they've included level scaling. Every time you get a gym badge, all the Pokemon in all the areas, the levels go up a bit, and so on and so on. That would be fantastic. But as for the trailer analysis, that is it from me. You don't want me talking for any longer, so I'll just say goodbye now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Thank you for watching this video. I do recommend the couple I've put on screen now. I've got the little subscribe circle. Click it if you want. Well, click something.